How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nick, and if you do not already know me, and today I'm going to be doing another tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do the infamous kickless on a scooter. If you don't know what a kickless is, it's basically where you bring the scooter around, the deck around, flick it back to yourself, catch and land without kicking the deck at all. So let's get into the steps on how to do it. I'm going to try and break it down as simple as possible. Let's get into step number one. Alrighty, so before I get started with the tutorial, make sure you are always wearing your helmet when you ride your scooter, even if it's on flat ground. The helmet is the key ingredient to remaining safe in scooter riding. You only got one brain, so make sure you protect it, otherwise there is no you. For step number one, we're going to be talking about ramp size and ramp speed. So, I found myself right here a nice little 4-foot quarter pipe at Pizzy. This is a perfect ramp to do it out of. You can do it out of a 5-foot or a smaller one if you feel comfortable. But the ramp shouldn't be too steep, otherwise you're going to be shooting back into the ramp, and it shouldn't be too mellow, otherwise you're not going to get enough height. Should have the right amount of vert on it, good pop. You should be able to jump out of this nice and smoothly and land on top. If you're not familiar with the ramp, get familiar with it first, and then you can try and start doing your kickless and stuff. So, now, speed. You don't want to have too much speed, otherwise you're going to be shooting out of the ramp and you're not going to have control in the air. You don't want to have too little speed, otherwise you're not going to get much air at all. I'm going to put a video in now of too much speed, too little speed, and then just right amount of speed. You should just be able to get out of the ramp, have control in the air. That is the key ingredient. You want to be able to control yourself in the air. You don't want to be going all over the place and bailing out and everything. Have good control, nice air time, and good speed. So hopefully you find a ramp that's good enough and you get enough speed for it, because then you can move on to step number two, which is the kickless motion. Now, how the hell do you do the motion? Let's find out. Alrighty, so the kickless motion, kind of need to know how to do it before you actually do the kickless. So I'm going to break it down for you, nice and easy. First of all, when you do a kickless, you are starting with a heel whip. So if you don't know what a heel whip is, it's where you kick the tail up around with the heel side. That is a heel whip. That's what you want to do to start the kickless. Otherwise, if you do a tail whip, you're going to be catching the kickless heels. And that's a lot harder to do. You can learn it that way, but I'd recommend you try and switch it up and learn it the proper way. So flicking it with your heel and doing a heel whip first. Once you get that down, the next part is actually bringing the scooter back around without kicking the deck. So a heel rewind is when you kick it back. A kickless is basically a heel rewind without kicking the deck. So you bring it up, use your arms and your wrists to stop the deck and bring it back. A good way to practice this is by doing a hip whip. So what a hip whip is, you start with a heel whip, you let it come all the way around, and you bring it up and flick it back. What that'll do is get you used to bringing the scooter back around without actually kicking the deck. So once you got a hip whip nice and easy, then you can start trying to do the kickless. So with the kickless, you don't want to be bringing the deck around all the way. Otherwise you're going to be wasting time and it's not going to come around as easy. What you want to do is try and stop it around 3/4 of the way. So how you do this, you ask? Let me tell you. So once you get the heel whip around to about 3/4, use your wrist. You don't want to be bringing your arms all the way out. It's predominantly in your wrists and your forearms. So you use your wrists to bring it back, just like that. But if you do it a little bit quicker, it's going to come around a lot smoothly. So heel whip 3/4 of the way around. Use your wrists and your arms to stop the deck and bring it back around. That's the motion of the kickless. It's going to take a while to learn how to do the motion properly. So just practice it on flat ground, out the front of your house, at the skate park when you're having a break, and eventually you'll get used to it. A lot of kids get mistaken. They try and do the kickless nice and big like this, but that's not going to work, because if you consider how much time you have in the air, doing a kickless this big, you're wasting a lot of time and you're not going to be able to get it back under you. So try and use more of your wrists and a little bit of your arms. If you use all your arms, you're going to be bringing the scooter out here, and then to bring it back under your feet is very complicated. So try and practice maybe like keeping your arms tucked into your body and just trying to use your wrists to get the kickless. That'll get you used to using your wrists. And then once you do that, and once you've perfected the kickless motion, you can then move on to step number 4, which is basically combining 1, 2, and 3 together, putting it all together, going to a ramp, and landing the kickless. So I'm going to show you a few kicklesses, and hopefully you can see what I'm talking about within those clips. I'm going to slow them down a little bit so you can analyze and see what I'm talking about, because sometimes I talk some gibberish. So let's go and do some kicklesses for you. Camera saying yes. Let's go. Alrighty, so as you can see there, I didn't bring the Kickless too far away from my body. I kept it nice and close so it's easier to get it back to my feet. That is a key step. If you can keep it as close as possible, it's going to make it a lot easier to land the Kickless. And also you'll be able to see that I didn't bring my arms out. I used more of my wrists to flick the deck out and back. That's all it is. Nothing to it. It's just a flick of the foot, flick of the wrist, land. That easy. Let me show you some more Kicklesses. Boom, and just like that guys, that is how to do a Kickless. Quite simple once you learn how to do them, quite complicated while you're learning them. But it just takes time. So go out, practice it, practice the motion, find the ramp that's good enough for doing the Kickless, and then just keep practicing. It might take you a week, month, 6 months, a year. It can take any time period. It's different for every single person. So just go out, practice, 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 and you will get it eventually. Hopefully this video has helped you a little bit. Hopefully there's been a few tips and tricks in here that you can put into your Kickless to help you learn it faster, or hopefully it just made you land your first Kickless. Anyway, if you want to see more tutorials from me, leave down in the comments down below what you want to see, and I'll try to get to it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, and I'll see you guys later.